Hi everyone, this is Mehmet Sheikh, and in today's video I will discuss about one of the important concept of C++ programming language, which is overloaded constructors. Okay, so here I have written down the explanation for this concept and an example as well. Okay, so let us start our discussion with these points. Okay, now constructors can be overloaded in a similar way as function overloading. Okay, we have already seen the concept of function overloading, where we can create multiple functions with the same name but with different set of arguments and different types of parameters. Okay, so exactly the same way we can overload constructors as well. We can create as many as constructors with the same name but with different parameters or different types of parameters. Okay, so that's what we will be discussing in this video. Okay, so constructors can be overloaded as well. Okay, the way we used to overload functions. Next point, overloaded constructors have the same name as name of the class but a different set of parameters. When we declare any constructor, the name of the constructor and the name of the class should exactly same. How much ever constructors we create, each and every of those constructor names should exactly match with the name of the class, but the condition is the parameters or the arguments should be different set of arguments or different types of parameters or arguments has to be provided to each of these constructors. Next point, depending upon the type of argument passed, compiler will call the specific constructor. Okay, so now when we have different constructors with the same name, then we may think that compiler might get confused which version of the constructor needs to get called. Okay, so compiler will identify which constructor needs to call based on the type of parameters passed to these constructors. Okay, so that we will see, and that will clearly come to know with the help of this example. Okay, so here you can see I have started this example with the header files, and then I have declared a class as overloaded constructor. This bracket should not be here. Okay, so this class has started here and this class has ends here. Here I have terminated this class with a semicolon. Okay, inside the class I have declared private and public access specifier, and inside the private I have declared two integer variables x and y, and then inside the public access specifier I have created a constructor which is not accepting any argument. Okay, so as you can see, it's not taking any parameters. Simply I have initialized 0 values to both of these data members x and y, and then I have created the same constructor. The name of the constructor is same, but here in this constructor I have passed two arguments, and both of these arguments of type integer a and b. Okay, so these values I have assigned to x and y. Now, and then next I have declared a display function where I'm displaying the values of x and y. And next I have created a main function inside which I have created two objects of the class overload constructor. Okay, so I have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. Since in the first constructor it's not accepting any arguments, I have not passed any argument to this constructor. That's why I have not passed any value to this object. So with this object 1 I will be calling this constructor with no parameters, and with this object 2 I will be calling the constructor with parameters. As you can see, this constructor is having two parameters a and b, and to these two parameters I am passing the values of 10 and 20. Okay, so next I have printed an statement as constructor with no arguments, and then I have called the display function with the object 1. So when I'm calling the display function with the object 1, this constructor with no arguments will get called. Okay, next I will print the statement as constructor with arguments, and then I will make a call to the same display function with the object 2. Okay, since I have passed some values, two values, integer values with the object 2, then compiler will come to know that from the object I'm making a call to a constructor who's accepting two integer values, then immediately it will make a call to this constructor who is having two integer values. Okay, so now here itself you can see this object 2 and this object 2 is having two values, integer of type integer 10 and 20. So with this, compiler will come to know that object 2 is having two values of type integer 10 and 20, then it has to make a call to this constructor who is accepting two integer values. Okay, so with this, with the type of parameters, compiler will come to know which version of the constructor it needs to call. Okay, so this is everything about an example of overloaded constructors. Okay, so now we will execute this program. Okay, here I have written this same program. Okay, so now let me just compile this and then execute it. Okay, so now you can see when I make a call to a constructor with object 1, then it's displaying the value of x equals to 0 and y equals to 0. And when I'm making a call to the display function with the object 2, and from the object 2 I'm passing two integer values, that's why these 10 and 20 values are get printed on the screen. Okay, so this is everything about overloaded constructors. Okay, so in this video we have discussed everything about overloaded constructors with the help of an example. Okay, so I hope you have understood completely about overloaded constructors, and that's all for this video. If you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.